a warm welcome to our special report. This week we are in the Hindi heartland of Uttar Pradesh in a small town of Shankargarh, a land which is known for its rich silica sand. But illegal silica sand mining over the last 4 years almost has grabbed headlines for very many reasons. There have been gross violations, whether it's the mining, environmental or the human rights laws. Over the next 30 minutes, let's take you through the highs and lows of silica sand mining in Uttar Pradesh. Barely 48 kilometers from Allahabad, you enter a city called Shankargarh. Rich in silica sand, a major mineral used in the glass industry. Allahabad boasts of the finest quality silica sand in the country. Shortage of this raw material has led to extensive illegal mining activities in the state. High-grade silica sand is usually found as unconsolidated deposits below thin layers of soil. After quarrying, the sand often undergoes considerable processing, which includes washing and cleaning of the grains, after which sand is dried up and put for sale. The prominent end users of silica are glass, foundry casting, ceramics, building applications, equestrian surfaces, artificial turfs, golf courses and much more. And this is what makes silica a precious and sought-after mineral. Rajya Sabha TV crew travelled to Shankargarh and adjoining areas to see how illegal mining thrives at the behest of a few powerful players. Quarrying of silica sand in Shankargarh dates back to pre-independence days when the country was divided into princely states. Some royal families were also engaged in the mining business. The king of Shankargarh, Mahendra Pratap Singh, has a functional mining license in his mother Rajendra Kumari Ba's name. The Queen of Shankargarh, Rajendra Kumari Ba, has mining rights over 46 villages which not too long ago were fed on bonded labourers. While the old system where the Queen leased out plots to the contractors who in turn employed locals, mostly landless and bonded labourers at exploitative rates is no longer functional, the quarry workers are yet to come out of the hold of the intermediaries. Shankargarh is rocky and unfit for cultivation. The main occupation of local population is mining and stone quarrying. Most of these workers belong to the Kol community, which is a scheduled caste. Traditionally, forest dwellers, Kols were forced to come out and work as casual labourers as forests started depleting. A large number of Kols in Shankargarh work at Raja Mahendra Pratap Singh's land as bonded labourers who do not have any rights nor credit to get the lease for quarries where they work. They do not have any control or free access over their livelihood. They do not own land and not covered by labour laws.
हम लोग समूह बनाए कि हम लोग जय रानी साहिबा से अपना लीज ऊज बनवाई, जैसे ठेकेदार से राल्टी ले था उसी तरह हमसे 55 से राल्टी लें। हम ही पच का बोलाइन गए कोठी, फिर कहीं कि वो है हम तो अगर ठेकेदार से हम 6,000 ले तो तुमसे 8,000 ले।
The workers get less than the prescribed minimum wages. They often take advance against wages which are never adjusted, forcing them and their children to become bonded for life.
खनन मजदूर हैं, मूलतः बधुआ मजदूर हैं जो कई पीढ़ियों से कर रहे हैं और न इन्हें न्यूनतम मजदूरी है, न कोई सुरक्षा उपकरण है, न हाजिरी रजिस्टर है। और जो खनन ठेकेदार हैं उनका भी कोई लीगली उनका कोई राइट नहीं है क्योंकि उनका कोई लाइसेंस नहीं होता है लेबर ऑफिस में।
Dinesh Patel, a farmer in Shankargarh, has been robbed of his land allegedly by Raja Mahendra Pratap Singh. Now, after incessant mining, the land has no utility for him.
जब भी इनको मना करो तो अब भी अपने तानाशाही से करके जो है कि जबरन जो है एक तरीके से इन्होंने, और जिस लायक इन्होंने ज़मीन कर दिया है आप तो स्वतः इसको देख रहे हैं। अभी हमारे काम के क्या, हम तो कभी भी चाहते कोई या बड़ी फैक्ट्री लेना चाहती कभी तो कोई बड़ी फैक्ट्री इसको ले नहीं सकती, क्योंकि इसमें इतना बड़ा जो है 80-80 70-70 फीट के गहरा गड्ढा कर दिया है, चौगिरदा पत्थर बिखेर दिया है, तो वो रेट कभी नहीं देगी हमको।
At the heart of all these problems lies the 99-year lease for silica mining in 46 villages, which the Rajya of Shankargarh has sublet to other contractors post-independence. Contractors belonging to Thakur and Brahmin community have brought in upper caste hegemony over the entire lease area, and this became the source of problems. Many a times the lease has been challenged and contested by the labourers themselves, but the situation remains the same.
शंकरगढ़ रानी का पट्टा रद्द करो, जो पहाड़ को तोड़े फोड़े वही पहाड़ का मालिक है। हम लोगों की तरफ से खजान राजा के खिलाफ कई, हम लोगों ने रानी के खिलाफ काफ़ी ज़्यादा आंदोलन कर रहे हैं, धरने प्रदर्शन कर रहे हैं, और रानी के खिलाफ हम लोगों ने पीएफ देने और न्यूनतम वेतन देने के सवाल पर हाई कोर्ट में मुकदमा कर रखा है खजान मजदूर यूनियन की तरफ से। तो हम लोग तो अपने तरफ से लड़ रहे हैं, लेकिन रानी अभी भी इस सवाल पर तैयार नहीं है।
Sand mining and quarrying must be carried out at designated places for a specified period only after the clearance from departments like agriculture, environment, town and country planning, revenue, etc. Nonetheless, in most of these cases so far, these have either been flouted or not followed at all. Rajya of Shankargarh began mining in all 46 villages, and gradually other sand miners from adjoining areas also joined in. Raja Mahendra Pratap Singh spoke to us not on camera but on the phone, saying that all allegations are false and that he followed the law by letter and spirit. Let's take a short break at this point in time and return with plenty more on the other side. Welcome back. You're watching our special report on silica sand mining in Uttar Pradesh. In the mid-90s, various NGOs initiated a program to help the coal community by organizing them into self-help groups for their struggle for just wages. But till date, the situation hasn't improved.
आज मैं देख रहा हूँ सन 1947 से लेकर के दलदल में दबा हुआ है, उसकी उठाने का प्रयास, उसको आगे बढ़ाने का कोई प्रयास, कोई अधिकारी, कोई यहाँ का प्रधान, कोई यहाँ का मुख्यमंत्री ये चीज़ को निगाह नहीं रखा।
हम लोगों अब नहीं लूटने देंगे और नहीं छीलने देंगे, और न तो राजा का पहाड़ है, ये मजदूर का पहाड़ है, आदिवासी का जंगल है।
After 30 years of breaking silica stone, crushing it, breathing it in as dust and coughing it out as disease, labourers have been left too ill to walk upright and too breathless to tell their story. Labourers have been taking treatment for tuberculosis for a year and a half, but the medicines do not work.
हमको हमारी सांस उभरती है, हम चलते हैं तो हमको परेशानी होती है चलने में। अब कोई वजन भी उठाएं तो उठा नहीं पाते।
Apart from giving some symptomatic drugs, there is no concrete survey or any relief which is provided by the state.
Silica sand mining in Uttar Pradesh has disrupted the lives of many people due to the rising health concerns. Tuberculosis and silicosis being the most commonly found diseases in the silica mine workers. But the biggest irony is that the state health authorities have refused to identify silicosis as the disease, and therefore the people here get the treatment only for tuberculosis. This despite the fact that the activists consistently have demanded for the constitution of the Silicosis Board. Almost every second person is suffering from silicosis, which in local parlance is called Shankargarh Wali TB. Silicosis is an incurable disease that develops over a period of time, mostly among workers in silica-related industries. Many of its symptoms are similar to those of tuberculosis. doctors do not take occupational history of patients into account while diagnosing TB, the silica stone quarry workers are not eligible for any compensation.
There is a government setup, it has to run, so it has got certain programs on paper which are fulfilled. The government doctor will be there, he will be interested, either he will be disinterested, or if he is interested, he will be interested in his private practice.
Not only the society but the environment of the region around Shankargarh, Chitrakoot and Mirzapur has also been impacted by rampant silica sand mining. Sandy roads and rocky terrain of southwestern Allahabad make a stunning picture under the blue sky. Some of the larger rocks here have sizable craters formed in them. All along these areas, you will come across pits which have been dug as deep as 100 feet, where groundwater has accumulated on the surface of the depression, making them look like lakes, also adding to the visual serenity. But the flip side is that silica sand to the tune of crores has been looted and robbed brazenly under the connivance of the multiple authorities. There is simply no presence of groundwater in the area, as mining companies have dug deep to extract the most refined quality of silica sand. Drinking water is the biggest problem in the region, as the water table has receded drastically.
It is illegal mining, it is not being done scientifically. Anyone who wants to take out silica is taking out. There is a very poor waste management practice. Groundwater is getting affected. There is a wildlife sanctuary nearby that is also getting affected because of illegal mining.
While small-scale extraction of sand by villagers for local use had never posed any problem, excessive extraction of silica sand using heavy machinery and huge trucks pose grave ecological and safety issues. I am in the Jasra block of Shankargarh area, and this flattened ground was actually once upon a time a huge mountain of silica. But incessant mining since 1959 has left this place as a barren land. In fact, you can see these pits behind me, which have now become parking places for silica boulders and silica stones. According to the rules, the mining companies should have covered these pits, planted trees, but this has not happened. Silica sand mining companies brazenly violate forest laws too. I am at the Garhwa forest range of Shankargarh, and in a gross violation of the forest laws, mining has been done within this forest range. And these rocks and boulders are a testimony to the extent to which mining has been done. But now if I can ask my camera person Saroj to pan and show you a structure which is called a washing plant. Procedurally, what is done here is that the silica rock and boulders are dug out from the Portland machines, and they are brought here, and then the stones are sifted, and at the washing plant this refined silica sand comes out. The Supreme Court, in a judgment on February 27, 2012, said all mining leases extended by state governments and union territories will need clearance from the Union Ministry of Environment and Forest. In the case of minor minerals, the procedure was applicable to mining leases for 5 hectares or more. Those owning mines over large tracts of land are circumventing this provision by breaking up the mining area into smaller parcels of land and obtaining separate leases for them. Shankargarh is a clear example of how Supreme Court orders are circumvented.
If the bureaucracy sincerely wants it, it will be done. If the bureaucracy works under pressure, then it can't be done. So the initiative has to be taken by those in whose hands enforcement of law is entrusted.
Ram Kishore is one among the many activists who filed the cases against violations of mining and human rights issues in the Allahabad High Court. Despite strict observations coming in from courts, mining never stopped in these areas and laws were never implemented.
जब यहाँ से टीम जाती है जांच करने के लिए तो उस समय कुछ दिनों के लिए काम बंद कर दिया जाता है और वो टीम जब लौट के आ जाती है तो फिर से वही क्रम चालू हो जाता है।
Time for a short break now. Don't go away. We'll come back with lots more on the other side. Apart from silica sand, there are a number of other materials like stone, ballasts, kankar and meringue which are mined till date. Mines and Safety Department had put a ban on mining of these items as well. When Rajya Sabha TV crew went on the spot, we found blasting being done in the nearby areas with no hut cover for the labourers. In and around Shankargarh, we also found washing plants running discreetly in violation of the court orders.
ये बताइए, आपको तो पता है ये काम गलत है, फिर भी आप करते हो, क्यों?
क्या करें,
मजबूरी है। आपके मालिक लोग नहीं बोलते कि आपको जेल में बंद हो जाएंगे या मालिक लोग जेल में बंद हो जाएंगे? चलिए ठीक है। Actually there is no fault of these laborers. What can they do?
At the behest of the court, silica sand worth several crores have been seized and stacked in a village, but locals say sand miners are trying to lift this in the night in connivance with the police.
रात के अंधेरे में जो है इसकी सप्लाई जो है करते हैं, जो है चाक घाट तरफ ले जाते हैं, इसको मध्य प्रदेश साइड में सप्लाई करते हैं इसकी।
These mounds of silica sand which you see around me are actually deposits in just one village. Remember, on the map of Shankargarh, there are 46 villages where incessant silica sand mining had been done. Experts say that 1 ton of silica sand costs about 1500. So you can yourself imagine the cost of the deposits in all the villages. But one is also forced to think the way the state exchequer has been robbed of this natural resource. While the use of machines has been banned under the UP Minor Minerals Act 1963 and by various government orders, they are still in open use. We came across a village where Poklin machines were operating, but the moment they saw the camera, all machines disappeared. Rajya Sabha TV is in possession of this notice which was sent by the Director of Mines and Safety to the royal family of Shankargarh. What I want to show you right now are a few eye-popping details of the kind of violations which were committed. For example, I'll just read out a few of them to you. Point number 1, protective footwear and helmets were not provided to the workers. Then you don't have employment records of persons employed in the mines. There is no attendance register which has been maintained, no facility for a proper drinking water and the first aid. Now remember, all these contraventions are punishable under the Mines Act, but no action has been taken so far. In an inspection made in August 2011 in silica sand mines of 6 villages of Shankargarh by Director of Mine Safety Varanasi, found glaring violations of mining rules. Untrained persons were given the task of blasting, thus endangering the life and safety of persons employed in the mine. The inspection report of the Mining Safety Directorate noted that the sides of the open cast workings in all the above mentioned 6 mines were not kept benched or sloped and stood near vertical over a height of 6 meters to 10 meters. Mines in Garhwa and Allahabad have deployment of heavy earth moving machinery without permission from the Directorate. The report also pointed out that quarterly and annual returns of the mines were not being submitted to the Safety Directorate. None of the mines were placed under the charge of a manager who holds qualifications prescribed by these regulations. As per Supreme Court order, silica mining and its transport are banned post its 2012 order, but documents in possession of Rajya Sabha TV portray a shocking picture. According to the documents obtained from the Department of Commercial Taxes, many companies are transporting silica sand across various states of the country on fake transit passes.
There is a fundamental need to change the law, with respect to minor mineral mining in the country. If we don't change the law, if we don't have proper institution, if we don't have strict penalties, we will not be able to solve this problem. And there will be not one but hundreds of Shankargarh across India.
In 2002, the Supreme Court directed the government to seek clearance from the Union Ministry of Environment and Forest before issuing pattas or mining leases. However, without administrative checks on the ground, the ravannas or the permits, as you would call, are duplicated by influential persons. The ठेकेदार्स or the contractors forcefully seize sand and auction it at 2 to 5 times the government rates.
उस समय बाबू सिंह कुशवाहा प्रदेश में खनन मंत्री थे और उन्होंने हमारी याचिका को दबाने के लिए पूरा प्रयास किया कि आप याचिका अपनी वापस ले लीजिए, रिटर्न कर लीजिए, अन्यथा आपके ऊपर बहुत सारे मुकदमे लाद दिए जाएंगे। उनके तमाम लोगों ने हमको घेरा, हमारे ऊपर दबाव बनाया, तमाम प्रकार का लालच दिया, लेकिन हम कहीं बिल्कुल अडिग रहे, डिगे नहीं।
Every miner is supposed to deposit a royalty to the state for the mineral mined, which is roughly 8% of the total sale value. An RTI filed in the year 2013 shows that no records are maintained on the royalty paid by the silica sand miners of Shankargarh before 2011, and the amount paid by the companies post 2011 is a pittance as compared to the sales income.
For the last 4 days, we've been trying to chase the IG police, the district magistrate and a number of officials from the mining department, but all have refused to give a statement on camera.
आज इस व्यवस्था में कोई चीज़ पे पूर्णतया रोक नहीं लग सकती, कानून कोई चीज़ पे पूर्णतया रोक नहीं लग, कानून तो तमाम बने हैं।
The big question now is, how will the royalty in real value be extracted from silica sand miners? What about the minimum dead rent which is supposed to be paid to the state? Silica Sand Miners Association says that the court order on the mandatory environment clearance was applicable for construction sand and not silica sand. They feel that they are not getting the required support from the state, which is supposed to be the leader of the silica sand mining in the country.
हम लोगों ने सभी लोगों ने वहाँ पर एनवायरनमेंट क्लियरेंस के लिए अप्लाई किया हुआ है और उसमें से हम लोगों को 6 लोगों को करीब 2 महीने 3 महीने पहले एनवायरनमेंट क्लियरेंस मिल चुका है ये। लेकिन जो गवर्नमेंट की इनडिफरेंसनेस है या एपैथी है या इनएक्टिवनेस है, उसकी वजह से हम लोग का काम अभी चालू नहीं हो पा रहा है ये।
Silica sand accounts for over 12% of the total mineral production in the country. The value of mineral production in the state in 2010-11 was 4,304 crore, of which minor minerals accounted for an estimated 2,750 crore. But due to increasing strictness in rules, production of silica sand decreased by 29% according to the data released by the Indian Bureau of Mines.
Mining contributes a sizable chunk to the GDP growth of the country and therefore it becomes an economic need. But how does one mine within the ambit of the innumerable legislations existing in the country? That perhaps is the biggest challenge. One can only hope with the growing awareness quotient of the people, stricter implementation of laws become the focus of attention. That's all we could pack up in this half hour from our entire team, which includes my camera persons Saroj, Rajdeep and Ram. Goodbye and thanks for watching.